Alright, y'all know the drill. Let's see who we can piss off today by simply talking about the most well-respected tier list in the Honkai Star Rail community. We're here again at pridewin.gg. Come check them out for yourself. Pin comment and description below for the link. They make more than just tier lists. Now let's get into the tier list. We're here checking out the Memory of Chaos tier list. We'll probably check out the Pure Fiction tier list when it eventually changes. We just recently had Memory of Chaos change, as well as 2 new characters added to the roster in Acheron, who you can see sitting all the way pretty at the top, and we have Gallagher, who's sitting at the back of the bus for some reason. So let's go ahead and go over this, because as you can see here, in only a month's worth of time, we went from having 1 S+ tier DPS character in Jingliu, and now this S+ tier slot is like full as F, okay? This is full as L. The Acheron here, absolute monster. I don't know what we need to do here. We need to add an Acheron tier. We need to add an Acheron tier because I think it's almost like disrespectful to leave her at S+ tier with Dan and Jingliu. Don't get me wrong, these two are not bad in any way, shape, or form, but Acheron just feels so good in comparison. Like, even at E0, she's outperforming them both, in my personal opinion, right? You might have a Dan or a Jingliu that you've put a lot of time into that might outperform somebody else's E0, but on average, Acheron is just outperforming in every way, shape, and form, at least in the Memory of Chaos that's currently out right now. Acheron, for example, deals over 600,000 damage regularly. You know what I mean? And it's insane. She does so much damage. But let's talk about this because I don't like this. I think this is way too stacked of an S+ tier like slot right now. I think we need to like change this. I don't like being too elitist, but this is the S+ tier slot we're talking about right now, okay? I think we need to add a whole entire another tier just for like Acheron and then who else? Maybe like Ron May and then leave the other slots blank or something like that. Or we're going to have to like maybe drop down one of the S tier characters and then maybe one of the S pluses can come down into S tier or something like that. I think we need to keep it like two characters is fine for S+. I think that's fine. I think 3 is pushing it a little bit, but I'm okay with this for right now, right? I'm okay with this for right now. There's likely going to be a character that comes out that makes one of these characters better and might make it a little bit more obvious to who needs to get bumped down. We only recently got Dan Hong and Mibiter Lune up here into the S+ slot because of Sparkle's arrival into the game, right? I think Dan deserved to be up here at least once or twice before that, right? He used to be the best in the game, but eventually he got power cred by Jingliu, and she's been up there at the top by herself for a long time, and all of a sudden she's got a lot of buddies up here, and I think we need to change that, right? So I think that either Dan or Jingliu is going to have to get bumped down eventually when either a relic set or like a character synergy comes out that makes it like more apparent who that character that needs to get bumped down is. I've been a Jingliu fan for a very long time. I've considered her the best in the game hands down for a long time, but she does have something that holds her back. Ironically, it's her high damage state. When she gets into her high damage state, she deals a ton of damage. When she falls out of her high damage state, then all of a sudden she doesn't have any damage anymore. If you can keep her in her high damage state, then there's no problem. She's going to be an OP top tier character for a long time. I never have any problems, but that's because I'm pairing her with characters like Ting Yun and such, like Huo, that give her a ton of energy that keep her in her high damage state. But I think that this will be the thing that holds her back down the line. Eventually, I think that will be the thing that sort of caps her skill ceiling or her damage ceiling. And somebody like Dan Hung Bibiter Lune might actually just be better than Jingliu over time. She's still going to be a top tier, right? She's still going to be so easy to use that most characters most players might prefer a Jingliu because she's just easier, right? But I think that the skill and damage ceiling for Dan Hung Bibiter Lune, as the game goes on, will be higher than Jingliu. It will take some time before that happens, but I think that's probably the future that we're looking at someday. But none of that matters because Acheron is the queen of DPS right now, and it's not even close. I don't see why these two are all 3 of them sitting here on the same bench. Seems a little bit weird. It is very obvious and very apparent that Acheron is better than these other 2. Like, she is she is notably better than the other two. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. She's more niche. She requires more specific teams. And then again, Dan requires very specific teams. So, you know, I don't know. I think we need to do something about this. This is a bit of a crowded slot. Now, we spent enough time talking about that. Acheron is super duper OP. You didn't need me to tell you that necessarily, but she sits here at S+ tier, but I think we need to push it even more, right? I think she needs to be even higher than this. She needs either her own tier or somebody's got to bump down. Somebody's got to bump down. And even after somebody bumps down, I think that she's still going to be so much better than the other character that's up there that it just feels weird. It feels weird. I think the best solution is to give her her own tier for right now with like Ron May. Now let's talk about Gallagher, okay? Let's talk about Gallagher. Let's talk about something else for a little while, okay? Gallagher is a really, really good character for a free-to-play option for an Acheron team. This has been proven. I've tried this out myself, and I can't properly test Gallagher right now because I don't have enough of the weekly boss mats. But even without that, I can still test him with Acheron, and he performs very well because he doesn't need to do anything. If he's on an Acheron team, he doesn't have to do nothing. He just sits there, looks pretty, drinks beer, and then Acheron does all of the heavy lifting and deletes all the enemies, and you just sort of win. Gallagher, unfortunately, on basically any other team, doesn't seem to be performing as well as a lot of us were really hoping for. He's a very unique healer. He's fun, he's cool, he's interesting, but I'm not going to lie here. I can't do enough proper testing right now with him because I don't have enough boss mats for the weekly boss mat, right? I do have him at E5. I have E5 Gallagher, but I can't properly test him. I just don't have the resources to do it yet. I have confirmed that he works very well on an Acheron team, but he doesn't have to do anything on an Acheron team, so it's not really like a good place of judgment. We need to test Gallagher on all the other teams to find out if he's that good. I don't know if I agree with the B tier here, but I can't confirm or deny how good he is on other teams, which is a little bit unfortunate. Maybe you guys can say in the comments how you feel about his performance on other teams, but that's what I think is holding him back, is he has a really good team that he's very, very good on, and he's like up here at like S tier for an Acheron team. But the moment he's not on an Acheron team, how good is he going to be? He's actually paired really well with, where is she? Ron May. I mean, come on. You can pair Ron May with anybody and they'll still be good. But she likes people that like to break. He likes people that like to break. They're a very good, you know, little couple or whatever you want to call it. Because the funny thing about this is B tier, although B tier seems bad, bro, Gepard still clears, bro. Gepard is still a god, bro. He is still so good. There's nothing wrong with Gepard. I can confirm that there's nothing wrong with Gepard. So Gallagher being on the same tier as him is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, right? I think healers need to be better than preservation units, in my opinion. I just think that preservation units are better. I mean, look at that, for example, right? And when Adventuring comes out, I think Adventuring is going to be sitting right here, or like right here somewhere, right? Preservation units are just good. That's why they're the most rare character type in the entire game. Healers need to be a little bit better because rather than prevent damage, they heal the damage that you take. So if you get one shot, it doesn't matter how good of a healer you have, right? Their character's dead. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. So unfortunately for Gallagher, he starts to fall off once you start to pair him with other, you know, really, really solid teammates. Anyways, I've been yapping for a long time here. The rest of the tier list has not really changed since the previous tier list. So I just really wanted to go over the new characters that were added because that's really the only thing that's kind of happened since last Memory of Chaos and now. So if you thought this was interesting or helpful in any way, shape, or form, consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.